beat Wyoming last time, beat by a 2-0 score. What happened in that game? What do you expect in the rematch?
I think one of the things we did well in that game was just keep the ball, and thought we were a bit better than they were in that game here. I anticipate that'll be a bit more of a tough matchup for us. Just playing somebody the second time, it's always hard to beat somebody twice. I think they're going to be a little bit more prepared for us. We scored 2 set-piece goals, so they're going to have a chance to look at that video and make sure that probably doesn't happen again. So we're going to have to be more creative and get some goals in the run of play. But I think we're ready for the game and first step in the tournament.
You played the tournament in other cities before. How does this differ now that it's at SDSU?
It's always nice to be at home. I think we've done a good job, especially in conference play, of being a tough team to beat here. For us in the Mountain West, it's always been at elevation, and so that's been something we've had to deal with the last several years, last year included, when we went to BYU. So that just makes the games that much more difficult for us to make sure we get a handle of the game early. And both games last year were tight games. That makes it really difficult for us to play, especially on the second day. So I think one of the things we're looking forward to is being at sea level, plus being at home. I think there's some good and bad. We'll see how that goes. I think there's always a chance for some distractions being at home. They are going to class and doing their normal schedule, so it's a little bit more in the team's hands than it is in my hands, which always makes a coach nervous.
Besides coming in and having won 4 out of 5, what's turned around down the stretch? How's your team come together getting ready for the tournament?
Well, I think just to begin the year, we played one of the most difficult schedules in the country, anticipating that we would have the Conference Player of the Year, Cat Walker, playing with us. I think early that was a bit of a struggle. We were in every game. We've lost all the games by 1 goal, missing just somebody that can step up and score goals, and we've had to rely on a lot of freshmen this year to start and play a lot of minutes. And they're very good players, but it's taken them some time to get used to what we're asking them to do and get in the flow of a college game. And so I think down the stretch we've gained confidence even off some losses to some big-time teams, including North Carolina, etc. So I think going into conference, one of the things we did was we just basically wiped the slate clean. I brought them together in a team meeting and just said, season begins today. We went through our first meeting again and just kind of gave a new life just to get some confidence. And I think we've done a really nice job in conference of just getting back to where we were last year and kind of stepping in that play. Again, we're still struggling a little bit to score some goals. I don't know if we have that dynamic player that's going to take over a game, but we're defending well. We're playing really well as a team right now. We're confident. We've seen everybody one time. We like our chances at home.
Aubree didn't play last week. Have you talked to her at all and felt her pulse on how she's feeling getting ready to play this week?
I think everybody's excited, Aubree included. When you're a senior and going into her last conference tournament, having won last year, they got that taste of what it feels like to win a championship. They're really excited about playing it here in front of their home fans. Obviously we're disappointed that she didn't get to play the game last week. She handled it really well, probably better than I did, was just excited that we had more chances for her to play in front of her home crowd. So I think she's fired up. She's ready to win.
Coach, do you have to worry at all about the team looking ahead to playing BYU? The winner of your game tomorrow plays BYU. Do you have to worry about that at all?
We've really concentrated since the beginning of conference on one game at a time. I think their mentality is pretty good with that, knowing that Wyoming, or anybody for that matter, can beat you at any time. And so I think they're doing a really good job, but that's always in the back of my mind, is make sure they stay focused on the task at hand. In fact, we just watched the 4 days in October thing on the Boston Red Sox, and just one game at a time and what that takes to get it done, and just keeping their focus on getting the win tomorrow, and then we'll step forward from there and see what happens. And I tell them basically, let me worry about the rest of it.